From the front page of the Yonkers Statesman, August 5, 1916. Headline: Sought coal and ice. 9 children were charged in court today by L. Mahan, New York Central Railway detective, with trying to steal coal and ice from the freight cars in the New York Central Yard at the foot of Babcock Place. The judge said he was inclined to fine each one $1, and he asked the mothers present if that would be a hardship on them. One mother replied that if she had $1, it wouldn't be necessary to steal coal or ice. The judge told her that theft should not be resorted to in any event, that if the children's families were in financial distress, they should go to the Charities Commission for assistance. Headline: Third week of strike begins. Today, the third week of the trolley strike in Yonkers begins. It started on Saturday, July 22nd, and there is no prospect of an early settlement. Trolley tie-up extends to New York City. Strikes are in effect on virtually every surface car line in Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx, involving 6,000 conductors and motormen and affecting 230,000 persons who use the lines daily. The indications early in the morning were that all the surface lines were nearly tied up. The elevated and subway lines are not yet affected, but the threat is made that the strike eventually will be extended to these systems if possible. Headline: Urges support of Charles E. Hughes, declaring that the voters of the nation in 1912 and 1914 decreed the death of the Progressive Party, and that all signs pointed to a desire on the part of the American people to work out their political future with the instruments provided by the two dominant parties. Raymond Robbins of Illinois, chairman of the 1910 Progressive National Convention, today issued a statement calling on his party to support Charles E. Hughes, the Republican nominee for the presidency. The statement in part follows: For some years prior to 1912, in common with other progressive citizens, I had hoped for a new cleavage in American political life, a cleavage that would bury the dead issues of 1860, wipe out sectional lines and prejudice, and comprehending the vital social and economic issues of the 20th century, would divide American political parties along true lines of honest conservative sentiment. When Colonel Roosevelt voiced this need and desire and declared himself as willing to serve in realizing a genuine progressive and liberal party, I, in common with 4 million voters, responded to his call. Nearly 3/4 of the progressive voters of 1912, however, refused to support the progressive candidates in 1914. By this test throughout the Union, the progressive voters declared in overwhelming majority that they regard the progressive candidates as the representatives of a protest, and not a party, of a mere revolt, rather than a permanent political cleavage. And that's the news from Yonkers 100 years ago today.